Grand Summoners Global had a live stream last night, and that live stream announced Fate. I'm actually surprised it came so early. I really thought we were gonna have some type of like in-between period or some kind of down period, but no, we're leading right from Kill la Kill straight into Fate. And a lot of information came out, a lot of confirmations on the different things, and we're pretty much just gonna be going over all of it, including the roadmap and kind of like a breakdown, a semi-breakdown, let me say, of the new characters. All of the old characters will be getting some type of buff. Now the buffs aren't anything insane because, you know, these guys are still insanely strong, but you know, something just to kind of help them a bit. Ilia, she's getting a modifier change. She's also getting her passive lowered to now she gets that 50 arc gauge when she's above 80% HP. Miyu just got a modifier change on the super art, and now the passive now goes for 150 seconds. It's probably one of the most impactful buff. Chloe just got a duration change and a modifier change. Same thing with Rin, modifier change and a increase on her magic damage buff. Shiro just got a modifier change. They didn't touch this man at all. You don't have to, bro. He's Shiroing me up. And last but not least is Saber Alter. She actually did get a modifier change up to 185,000 on her super art, and she finally got that nasty downgrade on her passive removed too. And that's it for all of the buffs. Those 6 characters are going to be receiving buffs, and for everybody that are wondering, yes, there is going to be a ticket that you can get that will allow you to choose between Miyu, Ilia, or Chloe. And those are the 2 main things we're going to be getting at the very beginning of this crossover, surprisingly. After that, we're going to be getting everybody in middle of October to late November, which will be starting with Ilia and Rin. As you see, she is a water magic damage character. She has a passive that's able to buff up her own damage by 100%, and she won't flinch whenever her HP is 80% or more. Her art's able to give an attack buff and also reduce the enemy's evasion rates. The true art's able to buff up your burn res by 100% and buff up water allies damage by 100% as well. Your super art refills your arc gauge up to 150 depending on the number of activations, and you're able to stack 100% magic res down on an enemy. Luvia and Rin, though, are definitely units you want to look out for. For one, they're able to give all their allies 200 arc gauge when they are near death. Also, everybody gains a 30% DR buff. They're able to give you 20% damage res. They're also able to lower the enemy's physical res by 40%. The true art gives everybody a 220% physical damage buff at the cost of 30% max HP. It's really not that bad. You're going to be going crazy anyway with them. The super art gives you 100% damage res down with 100% earth res down if the enemy's not under any type of status element. So Worgon Finn is definitely extremely happy on this one. As for our part 2 characters, we're going to be getting Miyu and Sakura. Summer Miyu is Jay on crack to an extent, and I hate to say that because I love my boy Jay, but Summer Miyu is definitely coming for his spot. Every time a battle starts, she gives herself 200 arc gauge and attack 50% up. This attack 50% up can stack all the way up to 300%, which pretty much means that she's allowed to use her true art every single stage. That true art, by the way, gives everyone on your team 30 arc gauge and buffs up physical damage by 80%. That physical damage buff is team wide, by the way, not just like for herself. That is an 80% physical damage buff to the entire team. The super art, once you get to that point, gives you super crits. It's actually kind of crazy how good she is. She almost can solo Shrine of Eternity. As for Summer Sakura, she's kind of more of a sub-attacker compared to this straight attacker role. She still does a lot of damage too, though. If you're set as the leader with Summer Sakura, she's able to buff up their damage by 150% and will also autofill their arc gauge by 5. The art's able to blind the enemy and buff up everybody's arc gauge. The true art is a magic damage buff and a magic res increase, and the super art is a 200% dark res down if the enemy is blinded. Now without the blind, it's only 150%. Of course, with the blind, you get that additional 50% dark res down. So I could see this character being insanely strong in magic nuke comps more so than mono dark nuke comps. And then finally for part 3, we're going to be getting Summer Chloe and Bazette. Really weird how we're getting these units at the end and not the beginning. They literally just flipped everything. So Summer Chloe is the prize of this crossover. Let me just say that. She's insanely good, insanely broken. She has so much damage buffs in the kit, being able to reduce damage res on the skill. You have a 100% stat res buff on the art, along with reducing enemies light res. You got a true art that's able to buff up your heal amount by 100% and arc gauge by 5. If they are light units, then they get 7 arc gauge instead. Her super art, by the way, is wild, being able to give your team 150% damage buff to everyone, and then if they're human, you also get a 100% damage buff as well, equaling to a 250% damage buff for human allies. Absolutely ridiculous. One of the best characters in the game. The worst part about her is her slots, and even then it's not like the worst thing in the world. But yeah, very strong unit, gonna be insanely strong in human teams and light teams and any other team that can benefit from her kit. And then finally we have Summer Brazette. Now Summer Brazette is a character that I actually really love. She's mostly an attacker, but I really vibe with her kit. It doesn't say the skill here, but her skill is able to give her 50 arc gauge, and it also increases her own paralysis and freeze res by 100%. The art is able to buff up everybody's stats by 30% and phys res by 20%. The true art is able to reduce your own defense equipped CT by half, and you reduce enemies water res by 80%. She only has one defense slot, by the way, so keep that in mind if you're going to be using her. Super art is able to buff up your own damage by 250% and accuracy by 100% for the duration of the super art. If you use the super art during an enemy's art, you increase your own super art damage by 500% and accuracy by 200% for the duration of the super art instead. This is so dummy good, and it's actually a pretty quick animation if I remember correctly. If that was enough, of course she has her main passive, which reduces her own sail res by 100%. I don't know why that's a thing, but the benefit of this is that while you're above 70% HP, you're able to ignore 100% of the enemy's defense. But yeah, those are all 6 of the new characters coming out. Really weird that they went with this banner order. I'm just gonna be honest, very weird. As you see here, this is all that we're gonna be getting from mid-October to late November, and we also have a time attack challenge, which I think is something that's new. I don't know if this was in the old crossover or not. So for all my speedrunners and all that other stuff out there, yeah, get ready. I don't know if they're mission rewards in game or if it's going to be like a thing that they give out once they see the leaderboards and all that type of stuff, but we'll have to see. And one of the final things we're going to be seeing here in the mid to October, late November thing is going to be the login bonus and mission breakdowns. This will be including everything from all the login bonuses, and all the missions in game, and I think even some of the events. But finally, 200 luck gems. The 200 luck gems that they put here is factoring in the step up banner, which is the same thing they did in Kill la Kill. In Kill la Kill, there's a step up banner right now that you can do, and I think if you do it all the way through, you get like 30 luck gems, right? So those 200 luck gems may not actually be 200. You may only be getting like 150 or possibly even 100 or whatever, but either way, you're still gonna be getting luck gems for these characters. So you're going to be able to make one unit, more than likely a max luck unit, which is wild. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this video. That is literally everything that is going to be coming with the Fate crossover. Hopefully all you guys are ready. Hopefully all you are prepared for all the craziness that's about to unfold on Grand Summoners Global. Of course, we'll be posting all new videos on all the new characters, and I don't know if I'll go back and redo the showcases on the older units. I might. Yeah, thank you all again for coming out. It's been your boy P, and last but not least, you guys already know, don't forget to drink water.